Hello? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, everybody. How are you? Happy Tuesday night. What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. Let's see what's going on here. Hi, Arlene. Wait, I clicked on. Okay. Hey, Arlene. How are you? What's going on, everyone? Belzanagra. Belzanagra. How are you, sis? Hello, hello, hello. Hey, me. What's going on? Tam, Vicky. Hey, hey, what's going on? Brenda. Lily, what's going on? Michelle, Terry, Cherry, Miss HLS, D Reese, what's going on? Guys, I'm going to go ahead. We're not going to waste any time. We are going to stand on business, okay? Let me tell you something. Even though that little boy is so damn spoiled, little King Harris, hello. Girl, we are talking Atlanta today. I mean, no, we don't have to talk. I'm talking as a dialect. Any of my Atlanta people, girl, we stand on that business, okay? Atlanta, oh my God. Y'all are special. I love it. And you know I'm right up the street, so I mean that with all love and sincerity cuz we stand on business over here, okay? Um guys, let me go ahead and drop this call in. Um, I know we have lots to talk about, so let's get into it because it's going to be bedtime and I'm not going to hold y'all long and y'all not going to hold me. So we're going to, I was live earlier 2 times. If you did not catch yesterday on this topic, and then 2 times today, and then 1 time over here. I don't know if everybody has seen everything, but y'all, I'm sure there is something that you have not seen yet. So go ahead, get into it, and let's go ahead and get these questions popping. Anyone? Let me go ahead and pin the call in, and we're gonna try and restrict this to about like 5 minutes. Um, just so everyone gets a chance. If no one seems to be calling in and someone is up, cool. But as soon as we get another caller, then so let's see. Putting in the work today, girl. Love it. Need all them laughs you provide me. Okay, Nicole. Hey sis, what's going on? This is one of my favorite memes, by the way. Let's see. Nicole. Hi, Mastermind. Hey sis, how are you? What's going on? Okay. So I guess I'll just kick things off. So the call-ins up here. Has anyone dropped any questions out? Let's see. I did do a question box. Um, let's see. No questions yet, I don't think. No questions. We do know it works. So all you have to do is click and then you just drop your question in there. Um, okay. Let's see what's going on. Okay. So let's just start on this. Oh, okay. Hey, Vicky, what's going on, sis? Okay. Just as I was going to pull up
You can
some
pull it up.
some
If it,
comments. How are you, Vicky?
I'm doing all right.
How's it
Look,
going?
I'm it's going good. I was just watching something on Lil King. We're talking about Lil King.
Oh my god, he's so fun. I mean, it was not funny, but it was comical. It was
It's
spoiling your kids when spoiling your kids goes wrong.
spoiling them in the wrong way goes wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. It was all kinds of wrong.
Now I'm 40. I'm not a mother.
Okay.
And you know I, that there are times where I think, okay, well maybe I'll do like single mother by choice, but I look at like stuff like this. I'm like, oh, because I'm at the age right now where I have gone beyond spare the rod, spoil the child. I
Mhm.
am to the point where I'm like, I put hands on you real quick.
You might go catch charge.
I don't care. Well, guess what? Guess what's getting cut off? That money. You stand on business by yourself.
When he said, "I stand on business," I died. Happy
It's just,
birthday to Lily. Lily is turning 50 on tomorrow. And Lily,
birthday.
have a happy, happy birthday from Bougie Gang.
But I also, knowing what I learned is that, and I know what I know about the tea and the gossip about Ti and Tiny is that they like, and then even Zonique said the same thing, that
Mm.
they ran the streets and they allowed Tiny's mom to raise a few of them,
Yeah, the
and I think,
grandmother. Hmm.
yeah, and I think Ti's late sister helped raise them too. Now I
Hmm.
know it takes a family, but it does seem like there's something wrong emotionally and psychologically with him. He feels neglected, and he doesn't view them as parents. He views them as
He
friends.
obviously wants attention.
Yeah, he wants attention, but it's too late to kind of give. Well, I don't know if it's even too late. It's kind of too late to give him what. See, oh, there's something in the South that we do, and I think it's just Black culture in general. It could be in Caribbean culture too. It's like, even if you are not respectful to your kids and don't give them everything you don't give them all the emotional food. It's, the proper psychological food, and you just give them the financial nurturing. You still think that you deserve the same amount of respect. Now that you get a certain amount of respect, but you don't get 100% of their respect. And I think that's the impasse that they're at right now. He doesn't respect them as parents. He respects them as, you're supposed to do this. He looks at them as providers, and as they're supposed to do it. Well, you weren't there for me here, so give me all you got here.
I don't think he respects himself because if he respects himself, you would automatically respect your parents. And I don't think he doesn't know. And as far as them running the streets, I think they've been performers. His dad was performing studios. Like they live a different lifestyle from most of us. I'm gonna just say, I don't even want to say regular because that makes me think about Shirley, but um if you're not in entertainment industry, you're not in the studio, you're not traveling on buses and planes and going all over the world to sing and perform, you just go to a regular 9 to 5, a kind of a normal lifestyle, if you will. um I don't, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, but
I
some kids are so privileged that they have, what do they call that? Affluenza.
Yeah.
They're affluent, and their affluence has given them almost like a disease.
Well,
So maybe King suffers from affluenza, and he's a spoiled brat. He's a spoiled brat,
he
and he
absolutely
doesn't know how to
is.
behave in public.
I have two retorts, maybe three retorts to that. So, uh, as far as them, like, when I say run the streets, I mean, Zonique. She made a comment. She did an interview, and she's like, well, she kind of basically said that she never got to really spend time with her mom. If it was always Ti was around, and so she never got that. Once he came into the picture, it was all about him. Wherever she went, he went. Wherever he
Hmm.
went, she went. So she didn't really get that quality time, and grandma raised her. But she came out better. So that's, yeah, so she can't. She may have had her little wild moments, but she's not doing what he's doing with King. He's trying to prove himself. He's all of 4'7". He weighs, I'm 100 pounds. He weighs less than me, and he's trying to stand on business, and he can't. He can barely, like, he's still wearing boys husky, if that. He's not. He can't. I mean, I don't even think he's in man's clothes, sweetie. So he's trying to prove himself and prove to the world that, yeah, I'm Tip's son, but I'm not Tip's son. I'm my own man. I stand on business. Y'all know me. So he's trying to find his way, and but he is also going about it in the wrong way. When I watched that Waffle House video, did you see that video?
I think I don't know if this is at the Waffle House or not.
It there was a
When it
Waffle.
got started, let
No,
me
this
see.
was There's another.
This was
This
at the
was
Falcons game, so this must have been the Skybox. So he's at the Waffle House too.
He's cutting up at the Waffle House because I guess he must have been cussing, or he was on live and he was cussing, and the lady said, please don't do that in here. And he's like, I can say what I want. I'm on live. And he started going back and forth with the lady. And he was like, you don't own this. You don't own this. I can take out. I got in my pocket what you make or something in a year or something like that or something. And then the guy from the back, the cook in the back said, don't argue with him. Who is you? That's and King. So King started arguing with the guy. Then he threatened to pistol whip the guy. So I don't feel bad for that because he's cruising for a bruising. And
I don't feel bad for him at all. I don't like
I have
it
some
was
empathy
it
for
as
him.
far as the parents are concerned, I would be embarrassed. Tip said he was embarrassing himself. I mean, it's a spectacle. I don't look bad parenting is bad parenting. If Tiny and Ti were not home, this is like I always say, this is the harvest of the seeds you planted.
Yeah, it
At the end of
really
the
is.
day, it's their problem. We get to laugh and talk about it, and it's unfortunate. And I hope that nothing happens to the young man, but not my problem. You know what I'm
Something's gonna
saying?
happen
Like
to
I
him
don't
though.
even care. Like as far as like being worried or anything like that. I just think that it's unfortunate that it had to play out on live stream because
Yeah.
for whatever reason he's so fascinated by going live and being loud. But Tiny and Ti need to handle this problem over to the house.
The best thing that they can do for him right now, and it's still not going to be probably be handled right because he's still going to make himself out to be a victim. Because the only reason why I felt bad is because he went into, and I guess I don't even feel bad about that because he went into victim mode after that. He was saying if I was a mistake, just say it, or something like that. And it's what spoiled kids do because I'm an only child and I used to do that stuff. I pull that crap with my mom. Was that whenever I didn't get my way. Like he put some, he posted if I was a mistake, just say it, or it's like okay, boy, shut up. Um, but I think that there's one or two things gonna happen. He's gonna end up running his mouth to the wrong person because now we've seen his true character and how he gets, and they're gonna test him, and it's going to be bad for him, and it might end up with he's going to get beat up because he can't. He's never gotten into a fight. You can tell he's never been in a fight, or he's really going to end up in jail. Because the last time he went to jail, but then he didn't take it seriously because his daddy bailed him out. So they need to cut him off financially, let him see what standing on business really is, and that's going out doing what your mom and your daddy did. If you're a rapper, go write your own raps, write your own songs, get your own deal, do it the right way, like they did, um, and go and move on from there. Stand
But
on
I
business
mean,
that way.
Ti went to federal prison. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't squeaky clean. It's just
Hmm.
we're seeing a version who's almost 50 now. You know what I mean? These people are grown people now. Tiny and Tip. They are grown.
Yeah,
So
Tiny's almost
they're
50.
not looking we're not seeing King. Ti might have been just like his son. You never know. But aside from King, because I don't even know how old King is, but
I
he's
think
got to
he's
be, yeah,
19.
he's too young for me to even really comment on at this point. The parents, this is just what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like Tiny, I think was a single mom. She got with Ti and they got married, they blended their family. She started having more children with her husband, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um and he's a product of that. So as far as like Zanique feeling away, not a bad way or anything, but just it was me and mom. Then mom got married, and then mom, then they started building more of a family together, or adding to the family, all those things. I mean, that's just what happens. You know what I
It
mean?
really
And
is.
these kids are very spoiled. We saw, if you watch The Family Hustle, all of the reality shows, the parents are on the road, they have to work. We've seen from YouTube situations. to seeing celebrity situations. We see Shirley Strawberry talking about I had to work. She's a I had to work too. Okay. And Tiny is I had to work, and Tip is I have to work. I mean, people are making choices and they're allowing other people to raise their kids. And it happens to a lot of people. If you're someone who is a director and you're a single parent and you have someone helping you with your kid who's home, where you have to go fly to Chicago or go to LA or go to London, because that is your job and you have a big meeting or whatever the case might be, like you have to make choices.
Yeah.
And this is just a different world that we live in where we're not staying home, baking bread. I mean, some of us are, you know, make choices, you know what I mean? And I mean, it's just,
It's sad because I mean, I've seen it happen over and over again. Like my mom was a single mom for the majority of it. My grandmother, kind of, we did the same things, and I was wild like that. I mean, I wasn't wild like him, but I snuck out of the house, and my we definitely didn't have their money, but my mom, she tried to make sure I had as much as I could. She worked sometimes 4 jobs and was still going to night school, um, to make sure I had what I needed, or whatever she wanted me to have, like more than what she had. Let me put it that way. She made, and I acted out, and it's when you try to compensate with items and, financially instead of emotionally. This is kind of like what ends up happening, sometimes. And with him, it's just on a grander scale. You're absolutely right. It's on a like a millionaire scale. Look at
it's on a 2023. It's on a phone in your hand. I can shame my parents. I mean, this kid could also be getting high a lot. We don't know if he's smoking weed.
He's
We
probably
don't
doing other
know. And
things.
if kids have look, if depending on what what I don't want to say, we don't know what his if he's diagnosed with anything like ADHD or anything like that. But some kids, even with ADHD, which is very manageable, or ADD, which is very manageable, undiagnosed, as you get older, it can get really, really bad, and it can create many, many issues. And if he is self-medicating with street drugs, it can go left very quickly, and it's going to be a mess. But, again, it's kind of like their problem to solve. It's happening in the public, just like when we were talking about Tiffany Haddish the other day. Tiffany Haddish getting drunk in Beverly Hills, slumped over a steering wheel. At the end of the day, she should be grateful and thankful that that's what it was, and her not waking up in the hospital.
Or hurting somebody.
Or, well, I was going to get to that. Killing someone. Let's just go straight to it. Killing someone, killing herself, destroying property, and also hurting. I don't know what her family structure looks like.
Not
I know that
good.
she was
Not good.
homeless at one point, so I don't know if she has very little family or whatever the case might be. But people act out for reasons. They're hurt for whatever. But what hurt people have to understand is your hurt doesn't have to be like our problem. And sometimes it's time to just get out of being hurt and sad. Like, some people want to sit in their trauma and don't want better. I mean, it's unfortunate, but we see it all the time. Definitely on YouTube, it plays out in people's vlogs all the time. You can see people are very damaged, very hurt, and they would rather stay in what's comfortable to them, of being uncomfortable, rather than doing the work to actually have some joy in their life. Like, it's unfortunate, but I think unless they want to be looking at more serious situations for their son, they might want to try to get him some help,
Yeah.
and cut him a little bit off of what supplies him.
Well,
So
to respond to that, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, what's Snapchat, all of that has become their therapy. And when you have, hundreds of thousands of people watching it, um, you feel validated too. And it's, it's un, I can't imagine. Like, I mean, I think I, when I graduated, I think we had Black Planet, and you couldn't post, you couldn't post like that. So when I was his age, like, you just had your friends, you had your diary, you had, like, you actually talked to people. You could go to, you actually felt the need and the urge to go talk to some people, or write it down, or space out your thoughts and think about them rationally. And you also have to think, you're right about the street drugs. And I would imagine, with him being around the people that he's around, because he's Tip's son, they would give him whatever he wants. And his brain is still developing. His brain hasn't even fully developed yet. So if he's polluting his mind with alcohol and you name it, I can't imagine. I would imagine that he's been introduced to Coca Cola, if you catch my drift, because his mom and his daddy have partaken in those kinds of things,
Hmm.
ecstasy and you name it. So they've been arrested. For both of them have been arrested for possession of that stuff. So he's looking for attention. He's looking for validation, and you're right. We don't need to see it, but that's his validation that he's doing something right, that people are tuning into it. And when he got into the why I mentioned the Waffle House thing, is he when he got into that altercation, or verbal altercation, at Waffle House with the employees there, Tip kind of blamed the employees for engaging him, and not really putting the blame on his son. So they're not going about this the right way either. And
Well, that's what he said publicly. You know what I mean? What is he going to say? You guys should have done. I mean, like, what, it's kind of between a rock and a hard place. What happened behind closed doors, we don't really know. If
well,
his PR spin was to say, hey, you guys shouldn't engage with, like, obviously a very young teenager, you adults, whatever. I don't know what solution, because I haven't seen the Waffle House incident, but he can't expect people to parent his child, and he can't expect to guide people on how they need to respond. If he wants to have his kid out here acting crazy, then that's their business. They're going to just have more situations where he's going to pop off like he popped off at the football game. And they're just going to be embarrassed, because honestly, to me, that kid, it's the parents.
it
I'm
is.
looking at them like, I don't even
Yeah.
care about the kid. It's just kind of like, okay, he's being a kid, and it's not an excuse. It's just, when you said 19, it's not even worth me talking about. I'm way too grown to speak on a 19-year-old. But what I'm gonna say is this: if his parents don't step in and try to do some sort of intervention, then they're going to unfortunately be making plans that they're not going to want to make. And it's
No.
going to go a very bad way. And then they're going to want people to feel sorry for them. And no one's going to feel sorry for you but your own family, because that's not our kid. It's not our job. I don't,
And
I became a mother at 40. And at the
okay.
end of the day, I don't run around trying to save every kid in America. Never have,
Mm-mm.
never will. You know what I mean? I got my one, and that's it, and that's all. You know what I mean? I don't expect anybody to raise mine, and I don't try and raise anybody else's. So if my kid embarrasses me, it's not going to happen again. We're going to have
See,
a talk about it.
I come from the Medea family, like, of my mama will whoop me in public. My grandmother would whoop me in public. My mama gave permission, like if I spent the night with my friends, or she told their parents. My mother had to meet the parents before she
Yeah,
let me
but
go anywhere.
and I get it, but he's 19, and that's not going
He's
to happen. 19-year-old and a 40-year-old in a fight in a public building, everyone's going to jail. And who wants to be in Fulton County?
Oh no, and I get it, but the thing, I mean, they still have control. The control is the money, and that's how you start reeling it back in. And he can complain. He's still going to go online and complain. He's still going to go online and say his crazy things, but you're gonna earn it. You're gonna earn back your privileges with me. But they have work. You're right though. They have work to do. I blame them. Um, they're not. He's not putting out music as much. She's not putting out music as much.
I mean,
You
he's
have
semi-retired. I mean,
there.
I wouldn't say he's retired. I don't know that for facts, but you know, they may
Yeah.
feel like they've made enough money. They've got their, you know what I mean? Like they got a house full of kids. They got a little baby girl. It's time. Like just like how Todd is always on that damn talking with Todd.
Hmm.
He's damn near begging Candy to stop working. Candy will not get off that road. Candy's not going to stop working
Well,
until
she
she
makes the
comes home
money.
and finds someone in her kitchen. That's when Candy's going to be like, "Oh, I didn't understand what was going on." Candy
But
is a robot. Candy don't want to stop working. Todd is kind of like, "When are you going to come home?" I mean, she had these two little kids and she's working. This woman loves to work and she wants to make money. I don't know. You say she needs the money?
no, she likes. She's the one who makes
She
the
likes to
money,
work.
and she makes the money. She got her mama to take care of. You know,
Candy
um,
has made a lot of
I know she
money. A
has. Yeah.
lot of money.
There's an old interview with Candy on this is 50.com where she's the guy, he's a comedian who was interviewing her, and he was just asking, you got $1 million? She's like, yeah. Or like asking like it was a stupid question. She's like, I just like money. I want more.
Well, it
So
really may not even just and it could be because some people do like that bank account number and they challenge themselves. They want to see a certain amount in
hmm
their account. Some people just love to work. They just, it's not about being a workaholic. They just enjoy the grind. They enjoy projects. It's many different things. But Candy, we saw her buy those houses on Real Housewives. Those houses were in the hundreds of thousands. They were not like what she's developed them to be and what this neighborhood may be now. And after the recession and all of that, she's probably tripled, quadrupled the worth of those homes. But Candy is not I'm just going to venture to guess she's not struggling for anything and would be fine. I think she works because she enjoys it, but what she may not enjoy, which she might just need to tell her husband, is I just don't enjoy the grind of motherhood. And I have made a certain amount of money where I don't have to do that. Most women have to be boots on
right.
the ground, moms, cooking, carpooling, doing everything. Candy has made enough money where she can outsource momming. She doesn't have to do it anymore. She's got nannies at the house.
That's so I don't know. It's a whole nother world to me. It's so bizarre to me. It just
Well, I mean, but that's life though. If
I
you
know.
had children and you were a busy executive or your job required you to travel, you would be doing the exact same thing. It's very normal. In the 80s, maybe there was a lot of mom guilt because women were not elevating in corporate America. They were, but they weren't to a certain degree. And maybe like let's just even say the mid 70s, there was that dilemma of elevating and also breaking the glass ceiling to be able to prove to the powers that be that you were just as agile in your flexibility and availability to be able to have these jobs where you have to separate from your family, 3 and 4 nights out the week. That's why they loved hiring like single women, that's why it
Hmm.
became against the law to ask if you had kids because
Right.
that's my decision to, you know, on how things are managed outside of the workplace and all of those things. But, sometimes people would want to hire based on those things because they would feel like, well, there's not going to be any obligation of time. You won't have to get home because a lot of these male business executives, they have someone at home, their wife. If you're a wife, you've got your husband, but your husband might be going, like, that whole dynamic. But in any case, these are people who've made choices, and we've heard this a lot. I mean, we see even on like just even back to what we listened to today. You hear damn Sonya on the phone. talking to her jailbird boyfriend, and she's watching her grandkid. And what does that mean? The mother is at work.
Oh, that's really quick. Um, somebody, Wisdom's daughter. I think
Mhm.
she said you helped her. You gave her some advice or something. I think it was you. She said you gave her advice. She did a short, and she did like a YouTube short, and I just happened to click on it. And I was looking at the comments. Sonia's niece. Sonia came on there and said, "This is my sister. Y'all wrong. Take this down." And
What are you talking
um,
about?
this is it. It was a video of what we thought was Sonia, but it was actually her sister. It was one of like I guess an Instagram video.
Oh, are you talking about that video that she had on her channel? Okay. Um, of the Hard Rock Cafe?
I think it was the Hard Rock. Yeah, she was
Okay.
in a bikini.
I don't really remember, but I think it was coinciding with a call where she maybe Nesta was asking her what she did for her birthday, and she said, "Oh, we were at the Hard Rock." And you could hear the voiceover on it. Okay, so who went to her comments?
So Sonia went to her comment, and then Sonia's niece went to comments. This is my mama. This is not. This is. Let me. I'm actually looking at it right now. She said you need to take this down because this is my sister Tanya.
Girl, why didn't you tell us this tea before we got into
I'm
this
so
whole
sorry.
damn king
I'm sorry.
conversation?
I just because I
Let's
just
see.
remembered. And it said this is, and then K Miami. This is not Sonia. This is my mom. Please take this
Hold on a
down.
second. Hold on. Let me find it. Wisdom's
I
daughter.
am Wisdom's daughter.
Yeah, no, I know her channel.
Oh,
She comes to
okay.
our chat. She's been here. She said that I inspired her to start her chat. She's been in the chat just like everybody else who's in here
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
And I
She
guess,
mentioned.
I'd like to encourage folk to start their YouTubes. And she said that I guess on one or another day inspired her um to do that. Let me
To
see.
do
I
her
guess she
channel.
reposted my okay. Uh okay. Let me see what's going on here.
Now, why is Sonia's niece a stripper too?
Okay, wait. Can we do one thing at a time? 'Cause
I'm so
it's
sorry.
like,
I'm
wait a
so sorry.
second. Okay, so how did you find that out?
Because I went to her page. She has videos, old videos on there. She's an
Okay,
older,
hold
like,
on. Let's hold the phone. Okay,
okay.
let's see. Let's walk this out so I can hear what's going. Oh, there's
Oh,
only so.
oh
So
yeah.
she
Okay, so when you
not
get on there,
Sonya.
yeah.
I did not think that that was her. I'm going to be honest. I saw this video. I saw it when it was on the channel on Instagram. Um, but I did not feel like it matched up with the face. Yeah, so that's not okay. All right, understandable. I okay. So what's going on here? Which one? Oh, WBLK Black News. Hold on. Let me okay. Vicky dropping the T of the
So,
comment
so
sections.
you know
Okay.
that's Sonia, W Black
Right.
News.
Yeah, I
The
see
one
that.
above that, this is not Sonia. This is my mom. Please take this down.
Wait, hold on. My bad.
Oh, oh yeah. Okay, so
Okay. You need to take this down because this is my sister Tanya. Okay. This is not Sonia. This is my mom's. This was a day ago. Okay. And then Sonia
So,
is real slick. Came out. Can't come to find out this is her sister, but she's well. Okay. I'm just gonna say they are birthday twins. Well, they're not twins, obviously, but they have the same birthday. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Yeah,
well, if you
I don't know.
click on K Miami's profile,
Mm-hmm.
she got old stripper videos on there.
Okay, let's go see. Okay, so K Miami. She says that's her mom,
Yes.
the motherfucking boss lady. Okay, sis. All right. And that is her mother. Hookah girl vlog. Okay. Um, okay, so this is the family. So ma'am came to all right, so she was doing stripper vlogs, 4 minutes. Okay, well, it says it's gonna be inappropriate for some
Somebody
users.
was twerking on there, so that's and she's twerking in a thong. That's what it is.
Oh, so this is just wonder maybe she's talking or is she just showing. I can never be no. Okay, so there's music. We'll get up out of that. Get into this wig. Okay,
The way these
hold
kids
on.
talk.
Well, you see how I spelled business. Because King says he stand on that business. Okay, so she's doing a little wig install. Oh my god, everybody's got music. Okay. Okay, ma'am. So this is Sonia's niece. Okay. Okay,
But
Miami.
the whole family is strippers, and no judgment. I'm just like, wow, okay.
The funny thing is though that they even knew that this was even posted. Um, because it's not even got 1,000 views. They're trolling anyone. Like I could not imagine being so interested in who's posting what about me. So that's homegirls, that's Miss K Miami's mommy. And
Now
okay.
she's
Well,
54, right?
Sonia has no one to thank but herself. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, this is what she did. She came out the bushes, Miss Waller. She's teasing and taunting people with this is the motor coach queen. Yeah, no. Um, okay, so yeah. Does okay. So there's no response on here, so maybe I don't know if Wisdom's daughter even saw it. Did she say anything about it?
No, she didn't say anything about it, but because
Okay,
that
well,
was just a
Wisdom's
day.
daughter, if you're around, you hear this. We're over here to your channel, sis, and someone has a problem with your post. So you might want to check your comments. Miss Ma'am came out the bushes to tell you to take this down because this is my sister. Now, at the end of the day, this is Sonia allegedly. She said this is Sonia allegedly. So it doesn't, she didn't say it's Sonia. She said allegedly. By saying that, oh, you know, so anywho.
First of all, they're all putting themselves out there. Um, they're all putting themselves out there. Like
Mhm.
just the whole they want some they want attention from that.
Yeah, you could stop right there at the they want some. Look, at the end, like if this is if this is first of all, this is a public post on you on Instagram. Sis was feeling herself and it was her birthday. So, it was I'm sure it's an honest mistake because it is her birthday and it's the same birthday as Sonia's. And I think I even said it. I've said it a couple times. I said the sisters look so much alike. I could not tell which one was which. That's why I wasn't trying to put no pictures. I mean, and I don't want to, that's why I wasn't going to put a picture out anyway, but I still couldn't decipher between the three which one was which. There was one who definitely was not Sonia, and the one maybe that's Trisha, which I knew was not her, um, because there was just some information on the pictures that I was like, that's not her. It's between these two because obviously it's these two whose birthday it is, right? So, but yeah, I mean,
They got great genes. I'll say that they have good genes. They're petite, cute women. Um, and they're in shape. So I mean she should be proud. She was celebrating her 53rd birthday and looking like that, girl. You go ahead on. I'm not mad at it. But
Now
y'all,
that one is 3 years younger than Sonia because Sonia
oh,
is
3 years.
3 years she's 3 years older. So, if Sonia turned 55, then the sister turned 52. That video I think was from a year ago. I don't think it was from this birthday. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I saw these things some weeks ago, and Sonia started leaving some breadcrumbs, not on purpose, but she would say things like, oh, my birthday, da da da, or my birthday twin, my sister, we have the same birthday, I'm 3 years older, we share the same birthday. She would say things because it's like the more you listen to some of these calls, the more we're learning about these people, right? They don't realize that, I don't know what they're thinking, but whatever it is, that was what was kind of that was things that I would think about, as I was looking, but I don't, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, but Sonya doesn't have anyone to blame but herself. Her coming out here as Miss Waller opened up the floodgates for people to identify her. Now you have put yourself on social media as a public figure. She was kind of anonymous, kind of known but anonymous, and still subject to someone, exposing her. But I think when she decided to come out of the closet, and that was it. That's too bad. You know what I mean? I don't like, okay.
You're right. She doesn't have anyone to blame but
Her
herself in
family
regards.
they got to blame her.
Yeah, just here from the call that we heard yesterday, and the one that you played earlier, when she brought that old boy on, that director guy. Um, how did she know his old cellmate from Kentucky?
She
How did
didn't.
she?
She said that she was on the internet. Someone sent me, hold on, let me see if I can find this. What did I do with that? Ugh, let me see. Oh, it was in my email. Let me see. I will find it. She's out. Yeah, she's out now. Reddit says she out now. Yeah, exactly. You know, I've look, I would advise anybody, and I've had these kind of lives before where I would, kind of give some tips, and you got to, if you don't want your family, um because if you don't want your family to be part of your content, don't make them part of your content. If they want to be anonymous and not be in the drama that could potentially surround your channel, then don't have them in your content, you
Well,
know? And when Sonya started to kind of play around the last few weeks, she opened herself up for it. I'm not condoning anything. You see what I do here on my channel, and I will sit and watch a video all day long if that's what I want to do, but people have to understand that everybody has their own operations. People have their own channels, and you can play with people if you think you want to, but I don't, the internet is like the wild, wild west. And if people feel like they want to talk about something, then that's what they're going to do. You know what I mean? That's it.
yeah, somebody could really like just be offended by the conversations between her and Ernesto. Like seriously, they could really be and offended by the way they speak about her, and really, put her on blast. So you can't sit there and like
You're
what
talking about who?
Sonia. I
They
mean, I'm
who could
just
be
speaking,
offended by what?
just
What
anybody.
conversations?
Anyway, I'm getting to a point. Like, so she's when she makes these comments about, oh, nosy people or nosy bloggers. It may not just be nosy bloggers, sweetheart. It could be somebody who's
She's
really.
nosy.
I know, but she makes, during these most recent calls, she's talking about nosy bloggers and they don't know me and all this. Well, maybe someone's offended by you carrying on with the married man. And so now they feel like they need to take out revenge in the name of the Lord. Who knows? People are crazy. People are crazy. So she can't just blame nosy bloggers trying to get clicks. It could be somebody who is just offended by the conversations that her and Ernesto having or have had, excuse me, have had, and they want to put all her info. They want to find out who she is and put and expose her and put all her information out there. So you can't just blame nosy bloggers. You're talking on a recorded line. It says this call is being monitored and recorded. You're you're putting you're chatting or you're and then you have the nerve to go ahead and post your intimate chats with him on from his tablet allegedly. We don't know
That's
if those.
why it's she doesn't really she's not, she's not, like I said, she's not a reliable narrator. You can't really believe it's fake outrage. If she really cared about her privacy, this would not be an issue.
No, it
You see what
wouldn't.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
She would be hiding. She
I
not
would not
hiding,
hide.
but she would be going about her life. I'm not saying hiding like, oh
I
my
would,
God, is
girl.
someone well, but this is what I mean. She would not be Ms.
Out
Waller
there,
would not be a thing.
right?
She would not be posting current calls. She's very narcissistic. Like she is the type she's mad. Look, I don't know what it is. Is it money motivated? Is it status? What is it? There's the money is not going to come as quick as she might think it is. Clearly, if I were her after 2 weeks and you think you've got the hottest story and you've got 600 subscribers, I would scrap this mission. And maybe also because maybe it's not YouTube where, and I don't want to give her advice because she's probably got a pen and paper out taking notes right now. What I'm going to say is this: every platform is not going to be your jump off. YouTube is not an easy platform. It's probably one of the hardest. People say that all the time. You could see somebody with 2 million followers on TikTok and nobody's coming to YouTube,
I noticed
okay?
that. Yeah,
And vice versa. People like the platforms they like. Some people are very agile between like I like Instagram and YouTube the best. I do Facebook also, but not heavy. I have a TikTok because I felt like I needed to, but I don't really post like that, but I post every now and again. Um, and I've got like 200 followers or whatever. Instagram to me, I find kind of, it's just every platform is different. And she may not be well suited for YouTube. Not saying she can't do it. I'm just saying there could be a platform where she could hit it and it's gonna go right. But that's not, I don't want to, like I said, I'm not here to give advice like that. So she's not, if she whatever she's trying to do with this YouTube thing, clearly it's not working because you are part of a hot topic, but the hot topic is not interested in you.
well,
They're just not.
they're
They're not.
interested in her,
If they
but we found
No,
ways
they're
to go
not.
around
What
her.
I mean by they're not interested, they're not this woman, have you not seen when something goes viral on
Oh yeah,
YouTube and it
I,
involves some mess and the
yeah.
person's like, "Ooh, they have a channel." Everybody flocks over there. They're not interested. If people were really interested in her, they would subscribe and she would have tens of thousands of views. The people that are watching these stories on everyone else's channels are not even tuning into her channel. That means they're not really, she's not the hot topic. She's part of a hot topic. She is not a hot topic.
Right, and it's and she doesn't realize it's beyond Shirley right now. Like she really could have capitalized on the moment when she found out that these calls were recorded, like back in September. She really could have capitalized then. And like you said, not on YouTube because YouTube, you're right, it does it
I
takes
mean,
a
it could have been YouTube, but it's not
eh,
the way she's going about it. She has, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to say too much, but the style is not, it's not jumping off anywhere. I don't see it, but
it's
I mean, like I'm just an observer. I'm just watching.
she hasn't
Um,
figured out how to record them properly, how to record the calls properly. Like it sounds like she's double phoning it or either like has it on her iPad or or something like and then recording it on her phone or some way it's just bad quality and she got too much going. She got the baby going on in the background.
I mean,
It's
but it's giving real life though. I don't mind it because if it were too produced, then I would really have a question mark about it. Sis is not, it's giving what it's supposed to give. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, for those first two reasons, she's trying to figure this out. If all of a sudden it was giving highly produced, I would be very concerned. That's the reason why I think that she is not working with anyone. This is very much her being sneaky and her being manipulative. She is not, this is not a professional. She can't even amateur professional record. Like, this is on some old school, let me hit play, let me hit record. It's
It's
very much giving, like, you know, not
right.
what she it's and I me personally, I'm okay with that. I'm okay
That
with that
yeah, and
cuz it's
I
giving exactly what it needs to give. She is manipulating the situation because she wants to come up.
yeah, you're right.
That's what it's saying to me. If it were produced like an episode of Phone Calls from Prison, I would be concerned. If she's not an editor, she's feeling her way around. It's giving, I just started my YouTube channel and that's exactly what it needs to give. But also she's not humbling herself. She's sticking her middle finger up at her audience. People aren't going to subscribe to that.
No, and at first I was thinking the after they found out, I was thinking that the way she was speaking to him, and it was kind of they said the call sounded like she was coaching him and leading him along in the conversation. That I thought Ernesto was aware that she was recording him, but
No, I don't
I
think
am
so.
no, yeah, I'm of the full belief that he doesn't know. Like,
No, he doesn't know because he wouldn't be talking. He's talking about his case, everything. I'll drop the link to this article, guys. But this is the dude she was talking to on the phone.
he's not a bad looking guy.
Um, Pardon?
He's not a bad looking guy. Sonya
Uh,
would date him. I think she would not date him.
Absolutely. And look, I'm sorry, I'm a woman, but I'm gonna say it like this. Girl, you could look like the bottom of my shoe and have a penis. There will be 10 women before you could look like the bottom of a shoe and be a woman and have 10 men waiting on you. Like, can we agree on that? You can be a not good looking man and still have your selection of women, and a woman who is who is not the most attractive, she might be sitting by herself. Now, if she has a big butt and a small waist, that's a whole different, X factor. But yeah, I mean, he looks all right. He
He's
looks
not.
okay.
He's not. I don't think he's not ugly.
Sis,
He
it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as I'm concerned, he's not ugly. I'm not, he kind of gives me a little bit of Mandisi, and that's just not my type.
yes, yes.
So, the very, edged up curly fro, all that. I mean, I'm sure he is somebody's, dream over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he's all right. He's all right.
How would you feel like if you were Ernesto and knowing that your calls were being put online, and then this broad pops up with this, hey, remember him?
I Were you on the live this morning?
I
I
was, but
mean,
I was working too, so
okay.
I popped
So
in and out.
I this is what I said this morning. First of all, he seemed to be a little confused at what was going on at first, and he was not talking as he should. Like, I think that he gave a very, like, normal response to, like, an alpha man who is all of a sudden being, who's now on a three-way unbeknownst to him with some guy he doesn't even know who he's talking to. So I felt like his response and demeanor was absolutely appropriate for the situation, because I even said that if someone called me in this same situation, someone I'm with, um, and all of a sudden there's some woman on the phone, I would kind of be like, and you know me from who, where? But like, why didn't you tell me at first that this was going to be the situation? So that would be weird to me. I wouldn't like that at all. So the fact that she did that, I felt like it was very off-putting. But, um
That's
cuz when
you,
they got off the phone, I was expecting him to check her and he did not.
and that's what you just made a good point. Ernesto carries himself like an alpha male, and Sonia tries to be an alpha female. And I think that's where they bump heads at. She tries to, because she's trying to take over his life.
Well, he asked her if she was a control freak. He asked her that.
Yeah, and and that's he seems like he's wants it, but then doesn't want it because right now he's just helpless in it. And
Well, he's not
the
helpless, he's desperate.
yeah, the Christian in me is like kind of feeling bad for him, like, oh, he ain't got nobody, and so all he has is this woman who talks 75 minutes per second. I mean, 75 words per second, and she he doesn't really have anybody else. And when he was bigging her up to Lamont and Dion, he was like desperation. He's
Mm.
just like, yeah, if I didn't have her, I wouldn't have nobody. And it's like, sir, do you not just recall just a few months ago that your wife was writing letters to the judge? With not in her best interest, but she was writing letters to the judge requesting that you be released. And she's paid well over 24,000, probably upwards of 40,000 for attorney fees for you. This woman probably put that $100 that Shirley was questioning. That's the $100 that that's the hundred where the $100 came from.
Mhm.
And Sonia has research and everything, and she sends you pictures, and she's always there to answer your phone calls, and sure, that's great, but here this woman who's been with you for years, who has been devoted to you. I highly doubt Shirley would ever think to cheat on Ernesto. Now, this woman is devoted to you in a biblical manner, and you're saying that if you didn't have her, you wouldn't have nothing. So what are Lamont and Drake doing for you? So you just putting them down too? Everybody
He
else.
said, yeah, look, this guy is manipulative also. Like I said, I guess I don't internalize it that deep. It's a call, it's a drama. I don't I'm more interested in it more from like a mystery crime situation, like I'm listening, but you know what I mean? Like I don't want to see I can't care about every topic that you know what I mean? Like I enjoy certain topics, but I can't get my too much invested. Because that's kind of one of the misconceptions out here on the YouTube streets is that people are like heavily invested. I'm so not. Like I like the story, but as far as the people are concerned, people are where they are because that's where they chose or want to be. And I don't feel sorry for people making choices about where they end up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm this okay. Like
I
the meme that's on the screen. That's what I'm doing with my neck at this moment. Like it's going from shoulder to shoulder. Like I'm where I'm at because I made choices. And this big age man and that big age woman are where they're at for a reason. And if Ernesto did not appreciate Shirley, this is why he does not have her today because he didn't appreciate her. So she's done. He has this woman who pops up with random men on the phone because that's what he wants.
that's what
You
he
know what I mean?
wanted.
Don't feel sorry for these people.
You know what I always it's just something in me that I do have empathy. I can't help but sometimes, but there's very few people that I don't kind of get like a twinge of empathy for, not sympathy, but just some empathy. And I think it when I listen to these stories and I listen to these calls, it just helps me kind of remember that there are so many bullshitters and there are so many like just bad people, because I try to surround myself with good people in my life. And then sometimes you can get surrounded in like a positivity bubble, that you just need your bubble burst every now and then to know, like, hey, there's still these people out here. Not like I didn't have I've been encountered them before. I've encountered these people like this. I had a good friend who was like Sonia, who I tried to keep up with, who talked a mile a minute, and she was always into some new hustle. And I didn't really, and she was scammed. She scammed too, and I didn't really realize, hey girl, she could do this to you. I didn't realize it. You know, we were in our 20s and trying to, live fast and have fun. But I still try to help her out and stuff. And so I can be naive because I just try to see the good in people. So
Look,
I,
people are just people.
I
Like,
know.
don't try to see, like, if people have good in them, it's not something like, say if you wear glasses, right? When you wear glasses and your prescription changes and you have to
Mm-hmm.
squint, you have
Yeah.
to try to see.
Me right
Good
now.
is not something in a person. It's not an attribute in a person that you have to try to see. Your instincts, your gut should be able to tell you immediately. So don't try to see good in people. If you have to try that hard to see good in a person, there might be very little and you should be concerned. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily concerned, but you need to be on guard. There's
Right.
no amount of your energy that you should have to ever waste to try to see something that is not there. That is something I don't want to say that's a quality innate in women, but I do think that we are programmed to be kinder, gentler, more forgiving, all of those things. But I am definitely a very pragmatic realist. And at the end of the day, there are people. People do good things and people do bad things. People are just that, people. And if you get a bad gut feeling on someone, then honor it. Just like I said this the other day, sometimes you have to trust that you cannot trust someone. Don't try to trust someone. If someone is not trustworthy, own that they are a scammer. Don't think that you're going to be the one this time that they're not going to scam. That's the problem. People always want to see the best, build a bay, do all these things. It's a waste of your time because
Very
there are
true.
billions of people out here waiting for someone kind and amazing to deal with. And for some reason, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. But you should never waste time on a project that you're not vested in. Trying to find some good in Nesto is a waste of time because number one, we're never going to meet him. You hope to God you never meet him, never see him, never confront him, and you never really have to give him that grace. The people that need to give him some grace is called Fulton County, okay? If he gets some. But there's a bunch of people who see him as a victimizer and feel like he needs to they want to have their day in court too for him to stand up and discuss how they feel like they have been wronged.
I want that for them. And I hear what you're
Well,
saying.
he'll
That's
have
very.
that. He's behind bars. He will get some sort of resolution. There's too much paperwork involved. You don't have to worry about that. That's not our problem. Like, I don't know. To me, I think also just lessons I learned in corporate America. There was a very important lesson I learned once upon a time, and that's not your problem to solve. That gave me the space to not because sometimes there's a part of me that sees risk or sees things that maybe sometimes other people may not see immediately, like just doing the math or the predictor of kind of what's happened before, this might happen again, or being very familiar with the situation, working with your client groups, and like, oh, this happened like 5 times, we need to make sure that we address this and da 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 that. And I realized as I elevated in my job that sometimes being the voice of reason or ringing the alarm too much put me in a place where I was overstepping. And I had one of my managers told me once upon a time, that's not your problem to solve.
Let me tell you, I my current position. I've been there several years, and as I've moved up, and I'm very very knowledgeable, and I'm learning that lesson, and it's a hard lesson.
It's really not a hard lesson because once you need to eat it. You know, like
I
how
know,
people say, I ate that. Eat it.
I know,
Eat it, ingest it, take the nutrients from it, and stop. Because at the end of the day, people don't like a know-it-all, and
I
people
know,
don't like their toes being stepped on in the workplace. And even though you don't mean it that way, that's the way it comes off, and it's never going to get you a promotion. It's going to get you on a performance plan. It's going to get people
and
not liking you
it
and all of those
sucks.
things. So you have to really learn how to, and if you are in an environment where you don't feel like you are growing and they have clipped your wings, it's time to look for another job. And I'm telling you that as a talent acquisition professional for over 20 years. If you're not fulfilled at your job, they've clipped your wings, you can't give input, you're stifled, leave. You know what I'm saying? But back on the topic of these
Well,
people,
can I
I don't
can
waste
I
any
just say
time. Like, I don't lose sleep at night over people on YouTube making a bad decision or what happened, the cliffhanger of their last video. I lose no sleep. Like, it's they're telling their story. They're putting it out here for us to consume for entertainment, and that's where I draw the line. Barbara, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say this, and I'm gonna jump off because I'm gonna start getting ready for bed. But I always appreciate when you share your corporate America experiences, especially with you being in talent acquisition.
Thank
Um,
you.
it's I love it. The way you relay it it's always what I need to hear. It's always what I need to hear. I don't want to get emotional because it's
No, it's okay.
there.
There's sometimes there's not people in the workplace to tell you like, sis, you are amazing. Sis, you do a great job. We love you're valuable. All of those things, but pump your brakes
Yeah,
and also understand where you're at. The misconception of being prepared for your next assignment within that company. You might be preparing for your next assignment, but it might not be where you're at. It might not be under that director. It might not be under that manager. They may like you right where you are. And at the end of the day, that's, it's either for you to, I mean, it gets very complicated and we can talk about it like in a different space and place. But at the end of the day, you have to accept what is sometimes. And if you see that you're rubbing, it kind of rubs people the wrong way, it probably is.
yeah, and it's
Even when you're trying to be helpful, they
yeah,
they don't want, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not your problem to solve.
and that's been a hard pill for me. It's been a hard pill for me to swallow because it's like you see issues, and then you see us like a bigger problem coming, and then you try to tell them, and they're like, well, you need to kind of just chill and just leave it be, and then
Hmm.
that bigger problem actually comes, and it costs the company millions of dollars, and it's
Hmm.
like you're looking around like I told
I told
y'all.
you guys this was going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's and I think I sometimes I
But,
care too much.
let me translate that to you. And I'm going to just, this might hurt it might blow your conception because I can't hurt your feelings because we don't know each other personally. But what I'm going to tell you is this: they don't value the information that you're giving them. It doesn't mean that they don't think it's not true, but your place at the table is not valued to the point where they're going to turn the ship.
Right.
So, and I hate to tell people just do your job. Do your job well, have pride, get your work done, all of those things. Understand that I'm telling you this from experience because, you know, it's one of those things that you just have to know that your promotion, where you want to be, may not be where you're at. That's just what it is. You may love that company and you may think you want to be there, but then you get to the next company, it's like, oh my God, what was I waiting for? And they love me and they let me speak at every meeting and people are coming to my office and all of those things. So it's getting to be that time of the year. I didn't think I was going to be doing like an HR chat, but okay. It's this time of the year where you update your LinkedIn, you start looking, do I need to get these classes taken care of? Do I need to update my certification? Do I need to be looking? All of those things. Just know that you're getting a paycheck, you're paying your mortgage, you're paying your car payment, you're doing all the things, and you are being compensated for that. They never promised you a career, they offered you the job that you got. Your life is your career. And if you need to advance in your career and your job does not value you, and you want to go somewhere where you feel like you can be of more value, then you need to make those moves. Appreciate the experience, the lessons learned, the projects, all of those things, and peace out and deuces. And when they're like, no, why are you leaving? Oh my God. Look, people take counter offers. There's so much data about counter offers. They offer you $10,000, $20,000 to stay, but you also still hate your job. It's not the
Right.
money. So you
Right.
get the new job, they're paying you, let's say they pay you $40,000. Like all of a sudden you went from making 80 to 120. And they're like, "We'll give you 120." And it's like, "Well, damn, where was the 120? But I can stay here. It's close to the house." Da, 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 da. And then you turn down the other job and then you stay where you're at, but you're still like in the same lunchroom and you're still with the same people. And you're like, I hate this place. They still won't let me talk at the meeting and they still don't value me. Like sometimes it's just time to go.
Yeah, and I'm getting that itch, and and even now, like they put out like that they're going to be doing the shoulder taps, because things are shifting.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, you know what, it if not
And
now,
don't leave abruptly and
oh
don't
no,
leave like guns blazing. It's just be ready. Be
yeah,
ready. Um Update your LinkedIn, update your resume, start talking to people, LinkedIn, it takes no time to apply for 25 jobs. Like you could apply for 25 jobs before lunchtime on
is
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn still a valuable resource? Because
Are
I've
you
heard it.
kidding?
Well, I've heard
Oh my,
some. It's been
how do
so
you
long. It's been
How
so
do you
long.
guys look for jobs? I mean, LinkedIn is like one of my number one tools. Like I don't like it just depends on I guess certain levels, but as far as I don't even know, I guess people still use Career Builder. Monster I
Oh
feel
no,
like is
I don't
dead.
use any of those.
Um Now, what is this other one? I don't see. I recruit for a higher level, so I don't even use Career Builder or most job boards. Really, for me, it's LinkedIn and and professional organizations. Um, and that's pretty much it. So you know what, Vicky, I've got another caller. I
All
mean, you
right,
can always reach out to me if you have some questions,
we'll
or we
do.
can we can do this like once a month if you guys want to have some HR chat.
Everybody's
Um,
enjoying this,
I
by the way.
probably wouldn't do it on this channel. I probably would like reactivate my old channel, Francoise Vlogs, to talk HR stuff. If you guys want to, like, problems with your job or whatever. Glorious, I'll be right with you. Um,
Well, I appreciate
because
it. But
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
thank you.
But yeah, I know these people, some of these topics can trigger a lot in the community, but and that's okay. But don't make their problems are definitely not ours. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, girl. I
But
appreciate you, and you always have to give so much grace and so much experience, and I really, really appreciate you from the bottom of my
you're
heart.
welcome.
You
You're
have a good evening.
welcome. Thank you. You too. Take care,
Bye bye.
sis.
Bye.
Ooh, Glorious.
Hi, can you hear
Hi,
me?
Glorious. Yes, I can hear you perfectly. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I am a new sub of yours.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. I had to join because I've been following you, especially with this Ernesto kind of this
Isn't
this
it
situ.
fun?
It it it
It's so
is, and
juicy.
it's that, and it's tragic at the same time.
It's
But
very much giving Shakespeare, right?
yeah,
It's Shakespearean in its scope and scale.
it's crazy. So, what I'm calling in about is that I actually went over to Miss Waller's page,
Yes. Uh-huh.
because it pops up now, since I guess it's part of my what is it called, algorithm right now. It's
Yes.
part of that.
Mhm. Right.
So, and I just got so like taken back because she really does not. I don't think she has a concept, an understanding, that people. Um, I'll speak for a married woman. I'm a widow now, but I was a married woman, and there's a disdain for women who have a disregard for marriage, and I
Mhm.
don't think she understands that. And I because she keeps saying, "Well, I'm not the side chick." Well, I'm like, please explain to me what you are then.
Right.
I mean, I don't understand what your concept of your relationship is. If you're messing with a married man, you slept with this married man, but you call yourself a friend. No, you're a side chick.
Right.
And
Absolute mistress, it's an
yeah,
affair, it's all of those words that
mhm,
people used to use or use.
yeah, yeah. And I just wanted to call in and just say that, because I've been getting really frustrated with listening to her, and her not understanding, and also the concept of her recording him, and for what? I mean, how does this impact his trial? When he has a trial, will it impact his trial?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one bit that makes me feel a little bit like, wow, that's messed up because this is a guy who's been sitting waiting for his day in court.
Hmm.
It's definitely taking a long time.
Yeah.
And this woman is doing him no favors. And not that he deserves it because, according to the law and the charges in front of him, it's been alleged that he has done many people wrong. And maybe it's a little bit of getting a taste of his own medicine, having to sit and wait and wait and wait, just like all of these people sat and waited for money and cars and buses and all kinds of stuff. And he feels entitled to a speed pass of 90 days or whatever. And these people haven't been compensated. They've worked hard. They're out of money. They're humiliated. All of these things. So based on that, it's like, sir. And then here comes Sonia over here flim-flamming him, because if he truly does not know what she's doing, she's using him. She's using him, and it looks like the family has been trying to have YouTube channels and social media, and no one's put up past 10 videos.
Wow. So other family
I
members
mean,
have.
well, if you slide back, when Vicky came on, she dropped some tea that basically, Wisdom's daughter, if you're out here, check your comments on that short, because apparently Sonia was in the comments and the niece was in the comments and said, "This isn't Sonia, this is my mom, Tanya." So the niece is in the comments
Gosh.
and Sonia's in the comments saying, "This isn't me, take this down." But we were talking about that like 20 minutes ago. And that's basically all her fault, because she's been out here playing with the internet and people felt like they wanted to find who she was. So that wasn't really an interest to me. Because to me, I really never felt like it was important to find out who she was, but she decided she wanted people to know. And okay, well, people know. People
Well,
know. Now what are you gonna do with it?
so you
And now your family is, on this internet, and that's her own fault. And just like that man who she all of a sudden looped into this whole thing. I don't know what he knows about Ernesto's calls being, broadcast, but now this guy um is all over. And I pulled up his page. So anybody who didn't see it, I already pulled it
that
up so you can see it and uh see the article and the information. So
So do you really believe that Ernesto doesn't know that she's recording? I mean, because you saw her video tonight, correct? Because I came in late, so
did
I'm
she put
sorry.
up a video tonight?
Oh yeah, that's what I thought we were talking about. Oh yes,
She put up another one?
tonight. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought she did yesterday.
No, she put up one tonight. That's what
Let's
I
see.
yeah. That's what I was coming. And that's why I want.
Uh, Tonight. So the Ms. Waller, you're saying?
Yeah.
The one that says Ernesto and Sonia jail call 11923?
Hold on. Um, let me
That's the
see.
last one. It's a 30-minute call.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, she put that up like in the middle of the night last night, and we talked about that first thing
Oh,
this morning on my other channel. But yeah, I heard it. I don't think that he knows. I really don't, because the way I just don't. I mean, it doesn't make sense that he would know, because the way he's talking to her, especially about some of his, like, they're still kind of talking in code for global tel. Look, maybe he does know, but it can't. If she says, "Hey, I'm going to record you and I'm going to post it before Global Tel can give it to somebody," which I don't think they're giving out, cuz I made a request a month ago and I could not get anything new. They said it was part of an open active investigation, so Cobb County turned me down. Um I don't know that I, I I don't know what the repercussions are of what she's doing, because that's just not how this thing is supposed to work, and also because this is becoming somewhat of it's not a high profile case, but it's getting internet coverage and there's celebrities attached to it. This could be a problem. It could be a problem for her. It might not be a problem for him, but if he's aware of it, I've seen where people are prisoners and they're doing outside interviews without the okay from the facility, and it's become a problem. They've taken phone privileges for periods of time, and they've also banned people from being able to contact that person. So if he's giving her the okay to record him and for him to pretend like he doesn't know anything about it, I don't know. Because you know what I
well,
mean? Like, I don't know them. I just think that she is doing it against his that he doesn't know. He doesn't know he's being recorded, and he doesn't I don't think Ern for as much of a con person as he is, I don't think, what would he have to gain from her starting a channel like the way that she's got it? He said, "Make sure that when you do something, you're doing it that it's gonna take you to your next move." This this stuff that she's putting up, it's doing nothing. This is not this is not a next move type enterprise that she's doing right now. This is, I don't know what she's trying to do.
yeah, it's baffling. It's a little baffling.
It's
I
not well produced. She doesn't even know how to do an adequate slideshow. It's bad. Like, my 12-year-old could put together better editing than this, and I'm not even trying to be funny about it. This is bad. It's bad editing. Even though the recording is very, it's what it is. I'm glad that it is what it is, because it sounds like she's recording him without his knowledge.
yeah. I just I guess the reason I was thinking that would could it be possible that he knows is if
I
like
mean,
just
it
like
could be possible, of course. Yeah.
I viewed it tonight. So if his family member would to see and contact him, I mean, I don't know what the jailhouse rules are. I don't know.
Well, put
So
it this way. So, she's been talking to these people for a long time. We don't know if Dion or not Dre, but we know Dre watches YouTube. Look, number one, she might not care. Number two, we don't know how much YouTube they watch and if they're even watching the Nesto stuff, right? If they are, they know. And yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
more people that can tell him that this is happening. So the thing about the interview, and he was shocked about it. Look, I don't know. I think one thing we're gonna find out is we're gonna find out soon enough.
Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
no way that we're not gonna find out soon enough that he knows, because if these calls abruptly stop all of a sudden, well, abruptly stop, um, and depending on if the county has a problem with it, we'll find out.
Mhm. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. You know, listening to her and her. I've never seen or heard a person who has that many irons in the fire. She's doing absolutely
Oh my
everything.
god.
I mean,
Doing everything,
I mean,
accomplishing nothing.
yeah, and I guess, well, I'm a city girl too, so I'm from Washington D.C. So when you hear people talking about all of these things they're going to get done, or they've done it, they're going to get done, we always side eye them. We always look at them like, okay, you know what, shut up. You talk too much. I want to see what you're doing. You talk,
Mhm.
you want to buy a compound, you want to do this, you have all of these plans. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm wondering if Ernesto is really, because I have got to think he's a little bright. I mean, I've got to think that he may be a little bright. He doesn't sound bright, but I've got to think that he's a little bright.
I mean, he's
I'm
got some business acumen. That's what we do know. He's got some business
right.
acumen, but in terms of running businesses that don't fold, file for bankruptcy, get sued,
Yeah.
yield a profit, um, follow, good
Follow
ethical
through. Yeah.
business, guidelines, and all of those things are kind of debatable. But yes,
Yeah.
he does seem to have some sort of business acumen. But
Hmm.
in terms of like anything that's going to make him successful, that's questionable.
Well, usually a con can spot a con, and I'm like, I mean, part of me is saying I really think he knows what she is, but he's just pretending not to know because she's all he has right now. That's what I'm thinking, because there's he has to know, because she's not fooling anybody else. Well, not, I mean,
Well, he wants to get out of jail.
yeah, okay.
Do you think that he's going to allow,
Yeah.
like, this is what trips him up? Him dealing with Erica King, him trying to cut corners and let Erica King come and represent him as a fake lawyer, got his whole operation
Yeah.
busted.
Yeah.
Okay. Ernesto makes dumb moves.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's some
Now, if
dumb.
he thinks that dealing with Sonya and Sonya's shenanigans on YouTube, being mad because someone says she's a side chick, and he thinks it's a cute idea to go ahead and post on YouTube calls that have not been vetted through the contractor that the state uses
Wow, yeah.
to make sure that someone's not planning a jailbreak and it's getting on the internet before it gets to them, and
Wow.
she doesn't have a FOIA on file. I can
That
post
part.
calls.
Look, that
I
part.
can post calls because guess what? If they do an audit, if they say every blogger, we're gonna reach out to people. I got a FOIA on file with Cobb County, and they have a record of what they sent me. So I am registered, and I have been sent a specific amount of calls on discs. They have my
Mhm.
address, my phone number, they have my business name, they have all of that information. So if someone audits me and says, "Where did you get these calls from?" I got them from Cobb County, and Cobb County knows me. Sonia gets an audit. Why are you playing prison calls? Or you've got these prison calls. Where did they come from? Oh, I was recording my boyfriend or my friend and I decided to post them. That might be a problem. I don't know that that's the like a legal problem, but it could be, well, you're no longer, your account is closed and you are barred from reaching out to this person. They're not allowed to do interviews, and you have this posted to a YouTube channel where you have not legally obtained these calls, and this person is right now county property. This person is
Right.
being detained, and you don't have the right to post these.
And hasn't even had his day in court. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, he's not a free man right now.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
being
Right.
detained, and he's not free to do interviews. And basically, if he has agreed to allow you to record him and post them to your YouTube channel, then in theory, he's agreeing to interviews, and it's quite possible that it could be against Fulton County policy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they're like, "Oh, did you agree to do this?" And he's like, "No, I didn't even know she was recording me," then that's a whole different thing. Then they'll just deal with her, and they'll probably bar her from being able to reach out to him. If he's accepting interviews, I don't know. I have to research Fulton County as far as public relations is concerned, because even though he's sitting in Cobb, he is under Fulton County. And I mean, I'm going to check both and see what their policy is regarding interviews with the
Right.
media, because she has a YouTube channel and she's posting to a YouTube channel.
I just believe that someone knows what she's doing. I mean,
Yeah,
you
we
could
know.
be wrong.
We
Other
know.
than I know, yeah. But I mean, other than us, I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, but I just believe I can't believe that no one in his, orbit knows that what she's doing. I mean,
Well, he said, "I don't care what anyone says." That was
yeah,
what was interesting to me, was in those September calls. Was that gosh, we listened to so many calls today. Yeah, it was the call that Phone Calls from Prison put up in September, and he said, "I don't care what anyone says about this woman. If I didn't have her, I wouldn't have anybody." And that's basically putting them on notice. Like, to me, the fact that he did that with her on the phone, I thought was very telling. That he felt like he had to basically let people know, "I don't care what anyone says. She's good with me, and if I didn't have her, I wouldn't have anybody," because he knows he can't rely on them. Like, they're
right.
living their lives. Dion's looking for furniture, and Monty is doing whatever he does. He's gonna be off to Dubai and Paris again or whatever.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, yeah,
He was in Africa at one time, wasn't he?
yeah. On safari, which maybe he was. I don't know, but
Oh yeah, this is a soap opera. Anyway, I'm
it's
gonna get
very
off,
much a soap opera.
and I'm gonna continue to listen. And yeah, like I said, I'm a new sub, and I'll be tuning in.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
look at the playlist. I have a whole playlist. So if you haven't made it
Yeah,
all the way through,
I think
um,
I'm pretty much through. But yeah.
okay, good. Yes. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Well,
All
it's
right.
so nice to talk to you. Don't be a stranger. So next week when we do call in again, make sure you call him.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Good
All
night.
right. Take care. Have a good night. Okay. Guys, we've talked about everything. We talked about Ti and the family drama with Vicky. And Vicky, thank you so much for calling in. Vicky is a sweetheart. And I don't know why I felt compelled to mention that about work, but I know, you know, we'll have HR talk when you guys want to do it, we'll do it. So, but yeah, I appreciate you, Vicky, for calling in and us having that nice conversation. I appreciate that. And then Miss Glorious Love, thank you so much, and thank you to my super sticker. Also, I appreciate that, Miss Barbara. Thank you, sis. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like he doesn't know, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not always right. Unique girl, thank you, sis. I appreciate you. Um, just because I say it doesn't mean it's accurate. Because I mean, sometimes, I'm not always right. You know. Thank you, sis. Um, So that's the fun part about this for me is just kind of like, let's see how this unfolds. But yeah, once his people find out and they get word to him, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And this whole thing about the film crew and stuff like this. So those calls were in September. This guy right here, let me pull him up again. Um, I wish I could do reader on here. I hate how this pulls up, but let's see. This is the guy from Tubi and Prime. This dude giving Mendici's cousin. Let's see. Who is Okay, who is now okay, so this guy was in blacknews.com. So Sonya's story was she was on blacknews.com. She was reading this guy's article. Meet the formerly incarcerated filmmaker who is now on his ninth film for Amazon Prime and Tubi. So she says she was looking at something. Is it Kende Reed is an African American independent filmmaker and also the founder of Cheetah Boy Films based in Detroit. He has already released 9 different films that can be seen on Amazon Prime and Tubi. A huge accomplishment for anyone, but especially for this person who's been formerly incarcerated. Kendi, who describes himself as a resilient, positive Black man, is a beacon of hope and transformation, having faced challenges in the criminal justice system due to selling marijuana. His life took a remarkable turn as he embraced filmmaking to empower his community, to provide aspiring actors a chance to pursue their dreams. Some of his impactful movies include One More Flip, Cheddar Boy. So he's doing like drug dealer movies, 5 minutes and Off the Porch. So, okay, his personal experiences during his time in prison profoundly impacted his perspective on life. Upon regaining his freedom, he recognized a profound calling to effect positive change and create opportunities for others facing similar challenges. Embracing his passion for filmmaking, Kendi founded Cheetah Boy Films, a platform dedicated to telling authentic stories that shed light on the realities of the inner city, inspiring residents to rise above adversity. In his debut film, One More Flip, Kendi crafted a poignant portrayal of a young woman navigating her way out of drug trade, determined to pursue a better life. The film conveys the importance. Okay, so you guys can read this. I think I already dropped the link, but I'll drop it again. Um, this guy probably doesn't want to be involved in this drama. I mean, at the end of the day, okay, so this is his information. Let's see what his website looks like. So these are his movies. CEO, founder, co-producer. When Ernesto said, and let's start a GoFundMe, I was like, you got to be kidding. Not that there's anything wrong with a GoFundMe, but he clearly doesn't know what he doesn't know yet. And the way that he takes offense or takes it so personally when the guy was saying that you want one of the hottest, the hottest writers or whatever. And I don't know if that person, you know what I mean? Like, okay, we can see what we can do, whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just listening. But he's, Nesto's a different type of person. Anyway, that's this. But yeah, guys, so I appreciate y'all who called in tonight. I'm going to go ahead and take this down cuz it's getting late. It's already almost a quarter to 11 and I only meant to be on here for like an hour. Did you guys drop any questions in here? Let me see. If you guys did, I have to apologize cuz I did not even see them. Nope. Okay, so we're good. Um And again, let me thank Barbara and Unique. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting. And thank you to all of you for supporting. Thank you to everyone who hit the like button. You guys are amazing on the likes. 206 likes. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll talk again. I'm glad we got to talk about some different topics because I love this topic, as you guys know. I'm fascinated by this topic, but not all consumed by it. So if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I mean, I would love to talk about what's going on with Diddy. Um, Even just going back in time with J Lo, I wonder, because he's had his pick of a lot of women, and I wonder what J-Lo's story would be today. I don't know if I'm sure she's going to avoid this like the plague because she made her choice. And when she became free again, she chose Ben Affleck because, Ben Affleck came pretty much right after Diddy. And, I think that Jennifer may have been one of the ones that got away because he really was into her too. But I don't know. But as far as all of these lawsuits are concerned, I think it's definitely interesting. Ben probably was like, but, but babe, I could, Jen, after that whole thing, when she got arrested, that whole night with Shine and the gun and all that stuff that was happening that night in New York when she was dressed in the white jeans and the white cutoff top and the bandana. And that night, yeah, that was I guess that might have been one of their last dates. So go Nesto. He said he was ghetto, didn't he? Okay. Go fraud me. Stop it, Sarah. I just saw that. All right. I'm gonna read through some comments. And next time, um, we do just kind of like a chat. We're gonna do some addressing the comments. So probably Thursday. Depending on tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm doing over here tomorrow. But definitely make sure to join me over on Love Lies and Lace Fronts. I forget what we're doing tomorrow. I need to look at my schedule that is usually up for change, but I think we might be doing some my jazzy and getting caught up with Liv again. Liv did a Thanksgiving dinner that looked very kind of mm, challenge. So you guys join me over there for some mom chat tomorrow. And if there's anything to talk about on this topic, we'll get caught up over here for a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go before we go too long and it gets too late, so I can make sure to say goodnight. I think my daughter already went to bed, so let me try to catch my husband, um, and get in the bed and try and get some rest tonight. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you everybody who joined us tonight. This was a very fun chat, and we will do this again. We'll do this again soon. If not tomorrow, definitely on Thursday, but I might come through tomorrow for a little bit. Okay. And I'm sorry, everyone that I told I was going to be back early, but I just couldn't do it. I needed to kind of rest a little bit. And then Farah and I were talking. And I just knew, I said, you know what, I'll go live after dinner. So anyway, all right, y'all. You guys take care. Have a wonderful evening. And I will see you guys next time.